In the beginning, the Garden of Eden was a paradise beyond imagination, filled with beauty, harmony, and abundance. Adam and Eve, the first humans created by God, lived peacefully, tending to the garden and enjoying all it offered. But in the center of this paradise stood the tree of knowledge of good and evil, a tree that God had commanded them not to eat from. The command was simple. Everything was theirs to enjoy, except the fruit of that tree. One day, Eve wandered near the tree, its fruit gleaming in the sunlight, and there, coiled around the branches, was the serpent, a creature unlike any other. The serpent was cunning, deceitful, and driven by a darker force. It saw an opportunity to plant seeds of doubt in Eve's mind. With a sly voice, the serpent spoke to her, asking, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve, startled by the serpent's words, replied, "We may eat fruit from the trees in the garden, but God said we must not eat fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden, and we must not even touch it, or we will die." But the serpent was clever, twisting the truth with ease. "You will not surely die, for God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." Eve paused, her curiosity stirred. She looked at the fruit, and for the first time she saw it differently. It wasn't just forbidden, it was desirable. It looked good for food, pleasing to the eye, and the idea of gaining wisdom tempted her even more. In that moment, Eve's mind was filled with doubt, wondering if God had withheld something good from her. Reaching out, Eve took the fruit from the tree. She hesitated for a moment, but then she ate. The sweetness of the fruit did not bring immediate death as God had warned. Instead, it seemed harmless. Eve handed some to Adam, who stood by her, and he ate too. But almost instantly, something shifted. Their eyes were opened, just as the serpent had said, but not in the way they had hoped. Suddenly, Adam and Eve realized they were naked, and with that awareness came shame. They covered themselves with fig leaves, trying to hide from the consequences of their actions. The paradise they had known was no longer the same, and their disobedience had severed the perfect relationship they once had with God. This conversation between Eve and the serpent wasn't just about a piece of fruit. It was a moment when doubt overruled trust, and temptation triumphed over obedience. The serpent's deception worked, and sin entered the world through their disobedience. Though this story marks the fall of humanity, it also begins the greater narrative of redemption, a story that would unfold over time as God's plan to restore what was lost through Jesus Christ would come to pass.